Okay. Actually, no, we're not doing that. We're doing single colour. We're going to do this one in yellow, cyan and magenta. So let's see how this one turns out. So we're going to add the paper. The original setting. I'll make it A4. I think it's going to be an A5 size, the original. So we're just going to go over here. Going to enlarge it to that setting. And we're going to go make it dot matrix. Going to make it reversed. You can use contrast, of course. Got mixed up. It's the saturation you can't use. See the feature clash? So we're not going to use brightness. We're not using these. These won't work. It'll just be a feature clash. So there you go. So now we got that. Let's see what we got. We got here. Oh, Skin and Laser Clinic. Unlimited laser hair removal. Unless there's a catch. Now 1,500. Oh man, I couldn't afford that. So that's an A5. That's exactly an A5. So the enlargement ratio that I selected was correct. Going to hit start. So we're going to do it in that colour first. Yeah, it's expensive shit, this laser hair removal. Oh. I'm just a person on a disability pension who works in a supported employment, or otherwise known as a sheltered workshop. I've got parts of my brain that don't work, especially to do with short-term memory and the part called the hippocampus, which takes short-term memory and puts it into long-term memory. So learning is difficult or near impossible. And basically, no, what we got here is blasted out yellow. So yeah, in other words, getting back to my disability, I can't learn new things very easily, and it's been getting much more difficult for me to do it over the past couple of decades. So I tried learning electronics. I wanted to be a photocopier technician, but fuck it, I couldn't do it. And that's really, it pisses me off. I don't like being on Centrelink. I'd like to contribute, but there's no problems. I'm not criticising other people who are on Centrelink. They have their own struggles, but I'm talking about just myself. I would have loved to have been a photocopier technician. I wish I could do it, honestly. I wish. I fucking wish. I am smart in other parts of the brain. My IQ, my overall IQ, was clocked at 137. So that's way outside the normal range of 90 to 110 IQ. So that's really big, but it's frustrating because when I'm at work, especially in open employment, it's my disabilities that get noticed, not my abilities, and it fucking pisses me off. But anyway, this does not look like it's working very well, this mode. I seem to be getting a lot of this wishy-washiness with I don't understand what I'm not setting up properly. But with photocopiers, when I'm using photocopiers, I find this part of my brain doesn't have any problems. It's called procedural memory, and I've got probably a lot more of that than the average punter. But basically, there's no such thing as a job to do photocopier art. If I was a famous artist, if somehow someone had accepted my pictures in an art gallery, like the Art Gallery of New South Wales and the Museum of Contemporary Art, well, and if I was like Ken Doan and could sell my art, well, that'd be a different thing. It'd be good to be rich off something I'm good at, instead of languishing on something that's fucking near impossible, just to make a living. But that looks good. We'll keep with that. We're just going to get the other colours. But I know that I'll never make money out of this. It's just an interest. It's a hobby. It's a passion. You know, I do better at this than I do at work. And unfortunately, I have to sit on Centrelink and work in a sheltered workshop to get enough money to do this shit. And it's hard. I have to forego certain things like heating and cooling when it gets hot and cold. My body doesn't like the hot and cold. I get very cold and very hot, but I can't afford to switch on the heater. The electricity companies charge fucking too much, and I still get big energy bills without fancy things like heating and cooling. So yeah, that's a good one. That's looking good now. But yeah, I just can't afford certain things. I have to scale things back. I'm hoping to go on television, and then I'm hoping to get married. And once I get married, I'm going to go off Centrelink. I'm going to help my future husband around the house, do cooking and cleaning. Don't worry, I'm not going to sit on my ass doing nothing or making videos. I'm going to be responsible, and I'm going to cook and clean with him. And also, I want to do volunteer work at his company, rebuilding photocopiers. I can refurbish photocopiers quite well, albeit a little bit slower than usual, but I do a good thorough job. And those photocopiers I refurbish will go to charities and non-government organisations. So they'll have a cheap photocopier so that they don't have to pay money, you know, for all the... For buying the machine outright. The price of $2,000, which I paid for this, to get this just before I got it on, when I got it on lease, I'll be able to waive that, and they'll just pay for what they use, pretty much. But anyway, enough of that. Got to go.